Hello everybody, this is the Nintendo Freak, and I am here today to discuss the most recent Nintendo Direct that was themed all around Pokemon. And I am joined with my good friend Hyrocram, aka Mark.
Woo! Yay! Hello.
He's here with me as well. Obviously, it's a Pokemon-based thing. I wouldn't not have him with me while doing this.
I know. I'm such a Poke nerd.
So the big thing that they announced then in this was
the Sun and the Moon.
The Sun and Moon Pokemon games.
Who saw that coming? Unless you read the news like a day ago.
Unless you were reading like Facebook and Twitter like a day before. No one saw that coming really. That it
to
was
be fair
just a
though,
brand new
even
thing.
the people who saw it coming didn't dare believe.
Yeah, even they were skeptical.
Because it's like, it's just going to be like Pokemon Brown. It's something they've trademarked just to stop everybody else from stealing it and making fan games or whatever.
Well, that was the thing.
I personally didn't believe it.
They trademarked Pokemon Rainbow.
They trademarked Amethyst, if that's pronounced correctly.
I don't know, but I know that
trust me, they did it.
The code name was Pokemon Rainbow, and that was kind of like what it was known beforehand because there were leaks a little while back that were basically sort of like said the entire 3DS lineup was leaked for like this year, sort of thing, as well as like some of the stuff to do with the NX and things like that. And Pokemon Rainbow was on that list. So its code name was Pokemon Rainbow. And obviously, then when we saw the leaks of like Sun and Moon, some people were like, well, it's not Rainbow. So does that mean that it's legit?
Hey,
Is this the real
they could
one
use
now?
Pokemon Rainbow as like the third edition in the series. Oh, hang on, they don't appear to be doing that anymore.
Yeah, they seem to have stopped doing that now.
Sod Pokemon Z. That's just the basic. That's going to be the title for this. Sod Pokemon Z.
No, like, I don't think we're done with Z. I don't think we're done with Kalos.
I must say,
sense.
I'm almost disappointed because for me, Gen 6, I know you personally enjoy Gen 6 quite a lot, but I felt it was lacking in terms of the region was a bit simple. There wasn't really much to it. It was all just a bit plain, really, for me. I felt there was so much more they could have done with it, and I really hoped that they were going to announce Pokemon Z yesterday. I almost would have preferred a Pokemon Z to a new generation.
Yeah. I feel kind of the same way because I feel like there was so much that they could have done in Z because there's so much stuff we know about Zygarde that's been like slowly leaked and stuff through Korokoro and stuff.
Yep.
And we're like, well, we haven't had his story yet. We haven't had any of his other forms in the game yet. I don't think we're done with Kalos.
Yeah.
I don't think we're done with it. Which is now kind of like making me think, well, if this is a new engine, if this is like they've done a whole new engine for like Sun and Moon or something, are they basically gonna redo Kalos in that region and do Z afterwards?
Well, I did see somewhere, I can't remember if it was in the Direct itself or if it was something like some text thing that went with it, but there was basically a sentence that hinted, I can't remember the exact wording, but it hinted towards the fact there might be more than one region in this new game.
And I
in kind of like a gold silver kind of way.
It could be that Sun and Moon is actually still connected to Kalos,
Or could still just be flat out in Kalos.
Yeah, AZ was the Sun King. So, like, you've got to bear that in mind as well. Like, it could be that the region is just flat out in Kalos. It could be a sequel game like Black and White 2. They just didn't decide to do XY2. They decided to actually give it a name.
Yeah, because that kind of sounds more like a formula than a game.
Yeah, that's it. And they could have potentially just added some additional stuff, almost like the Sevi Islands were added in Fire Red Leaf Green. They could have just added additional stuff to the Kalos region through the train network and stuff.
Yeah.
So that it could still be based in Kalos, or it could be an entirely new region based in an entirely different location, but you may also be able to travel back to Kalos.
I want them to do something with Kalos because, like I say, for me, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for a whole new gen, as you would be being a Pokemon fan, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they've kind of moved on a year too soon, maybe.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. like if it is just its own game and it's not connected to Kalos in any way, I reckon we'll still get a Z at some point, because they just haven't answered all the stuff. They haven't done any of the stuff that they've released in the Kuro in games yet.
Well, in previous generations when they've done like remakes or whatever, they've jumped back.
They've jumped back to the previous one. I know in 3rd gen they did Ruby Sapphire, then they did Fire Red and Leaf Green, then they did Emerald after that.
Yeah.
So they went backwards to Hoenn to like revisit it and redo it up for Emerald. And I think that's the same with Platinum as well. I think they did Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then went back to Platinum. So they could still do a Z. Z isn't off the table. It just seems unlikely if it's a new gen, because they've never done it where they've gone from one gen to a new gen and then back to the previous gen. That doesn't make sense. So it's kind of hard to say.
We do need some more Gen 6, please, Pokemon Company. You've not finished yet. There's so much more you can do.
So much more you can do with it. There are theories based on like where this region could be based if it's a new region as well, based on the very, very small shots that we got of like stuff within the thing. Basically, obviously you've got like the new design of the Pokemon Center, which it looks pretty cool actually.
It looks like a mushroom.
It does.
It's just basically going to be Super Mario World.
But then like the next thing you see is vehicles, which is you've got like a pickup truck type thing. You've got an ambulance and you've got a fire truck with a Blastoise on the back, which I think is pretty sweet.
But, I mean, you can count the amount of times we've seen vehicles in a Pokemon game on about
on literally one hand.
Well, less than one hand. You've got what have we got? We've got the moving van in 3rd gen.
Yep. There's the truck in 1st gen, that infamous truck.
Oh yeah, that truck. There's the bridges in
5th gen.
Unova, that's the one. I forgot what it was called then. You've got them where you can see like the vehicles going underneath. Which, let's just count that all as one occasion, because they all do the same thing.
That's why you see them. That's it. That's literally the only time I think you see vehicles in the entire Pokemon franchise. It's
not that. No. Tell like there's the taxis in.
In Lumiose.
Yeah,
Lumiose. Lumiose has the taxi service. Yeah,
but it's not. It'd be interesting because I don't want the option to just jump in a car and drive to the next town. The whole part of the Pokemon game is wandering around
and stuff. Yeah,
for
exactly.
Me,
I think these are just going to be kind of like how the taxi service was just there as like just a part of the thing. It wasn't necessary.
Perhaps this is pointing towards a much larger region, because let's face it, the games have outgrown the size of the traditional size region, because you can walk around it in not that long a time. So really, perhaps it's pointing towards perhaps a much larger map in the game, where if you can't be asked to walk the whole way there, you can just jump in a car and drive there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It could be pointing to like a larger region, but basically the theory that we have is it's based off Hawaii. And the reason for it is this ambulance looks very much like an ambulance in Hawaii, like the ambulance service, as does the fire truck being a yellow fire truck.
Yeah.
They're also prominent in Hawaii. The other evidence we have is obviously this screenshot here of what looks like a tropical resort, which is like the only screenshot we have of anything in actual
like
game.
Water gym, isn't it? It's quite clearly not finished by
it's not quite
the
done.
Trainers and
like you can tell like the trainers aren't fully like designed and stuff like that, and things like that. But yeah, like it's obviously some sort of like tropical resort. Could be a gym, could be anything, could be the Battle Resort. You don't know, but like it obviously kind of has that sort of tropical feel to it. The last thing we see is what looks like it could be a new Pokemon. Now, at first I thought that's just a Fletchling. It's not a Fletchling. I've looked at Fletchling closely and to realise that the colorations are wrong.
Yeah, I've seen some fan art that somebody's already done, as the fan art community does. They've put together what they thought it could look like, and it actually looked pretty cool, but it probably won't look anything like that, so I don't even know if it's even worth discussing.
It's fine.
It's just your standard bird Pokemon like Pidgey.
Yeah,
or
I think it's just going to be
Fletchling
the basic bird Pokemon of the region. The thing that once again points to the Hawaii thing is that it has a similar sort of design and coloration to the hummingbird that resides in Hawaii, specifically the hummingbird in Hawaii, because obviously you can find them outside of Hawaii. But specifically, they think it looks pretty much like that.
So it's pretty much dead set to learn Hyper Voice then.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Hyper Voice, Sing.
Yeah, those kind of things. But yeah, like it's all good evidence that points towards that, which I think is really kind of neat. But I'm not 100% on whether that's necessarily what it is. It's definitely the theory at the moment has the most evidence towards it. I like the idea of it possibly being based in South America, based purely on the fact that it's the Sun and the Moon title, and obviously you have the Mayans that were in South America who had a lot of stuff to do with the Sun and the Moon. So it could be based in South America. Also, I think South America would be a pretty good one for a region because you've got the Amazon forest, you've got the you can have like a city based on Rio de Janeiro and stuff like that. Like you can. I feel like you could work with South America.
I can't see that working. It would have a lot of poverty.
It would, to be fair.
But you defeat a trainer, and they're like, "Oh, I can't give you any money. I've been living in squalor for the past 10 years of my life."
I don't know. Like it could be.
Or if you just walk every time you bump in, when you bump into other like in-game characters by mistake, because you're not paying attention to the screen, they just pickpocket you for £100.
Oh man!
I mean, no offense to anybody who lives in Brazil.
Don't worry, dude. Don't worry, it's fine. But no, yeah, like I feel like it could be. I feel like they could do something with just like the region of South America. Obviously, they wouldn't necessarily base it 100% on South America, but like just the region alone, I think they could do something with and things. So I don't know, they could do something with it, and they may not go to the extremes of like say replicating exactly South America, but you might find that there's more.
Kalos is supposedly France.
Yeah, but you might find that there's like more street gangs or something around, or things like that, perhaps, and just thugs maybe just around in like the big cities and things like that.
Now you're straying into dangerous territory.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to say. Like if they want to do things like that, they could. I mean, like in Kalos, you had like the back alleys and stuff like that where you could go and meet kind of weird characters and stuff. Yeah, so maybe they could do something akin to that to kind of show that. I don't know.
Stranger danger.
Depends how they go about doing it. But no, I feel like South America could be a decent contender for it, because it's also an area that we've just never visited in a Pokemon game. But there's another theory that it's going to go back to a Japanese-based or Chinese-based region.
Hence why they put Chinese.
Hence why Chinese has come into the game, because that would do their announcement that they basically adding 2 new languages which are both Chinese-based. They're adding both traditional and simplified, I think it is, Chinese languages into the game. So, like say, they could be like Chinese-based actual region. And like say, the other theory is that it could be more Japanese-based again. Once again, based on the sun god Amaterasu and the moon god Tsuyomi. I can't pronounce Japanese names, I'm sorry, but I'll put an image of it on the screen. But yeah, it could be based on those, which I think is an interesting theory. I'm not 100% behind it again, because I don't know, I feel like they've already done a bunch of regions based on Japan. I like the idea of it maybe being more of a Chinese-based theme, perhaps. Because obviously, they did add languages in for a reason. That could be it, that they're actually doing a more Chinese-based thing. The reason they give to us it is more outside of the Pokemon games, is to do with the fact that in Japan, Yokai Watch is absolutely wrecking Pokemon in sales.
Yeah, but then Pokemon hasn't released anything for
oh no, absolutely. But
2 years or
Yokai
so.
Watch is like really big in Japan, and I'm not sure whether like the Japanese obviously creators of Pokemon want to go back to their home audience and say, hey, we haven't forgot about you guys. we still love you, because like the past 2 generations have all been based outside of Japan, in other areas, so maybe they'd want to do it that way. It's hard to say. They've given us such little information, and we're trying to work on it based on that. All the theories that I've talked about aren't straight up my own. They're all based off something someone else has said, so I will put links on screen and in description and stuff to all of the videos. I think the Hawaii one I heard from Birdkeeper Toby, who heard it from someone else. The Mayan one, the one in South America, I heard from Trailer Drake. And the Japanese one I heard from Gaijin Guma. So links to all of their videos and stuff will be on screen and in description. Go and give them a watch, go and see, show them that you're supporting things like that. But I think that's all to do with the new games. The other thing they announced in the Direct was that...
Virtual console games.
Yes, the virtual console games. The virtual console games will be available to trade up from, obviously, the Gen 1 virtual console all the way up into Sun and Moon through Pokemon Bank, which is a neat thing that you can do that, I suppose.
It won't offer too many advantages.
It won't.
The only one we can think of off the top of our heads is Machamp learning Fisher.
Yeah, friggin' Machamp
guard.
can have Fisher in Gen 1, and it also has the ability to have No Guard as its ability, so a No Guard Fisher would mean you'd have a one-hit KO move that can't miss, and that would be bad.
Which, let's face it, is going to be banned.
Oh god, yeah. No, like I think they already banned one-hit KO moves in any sort of competitive format anyway, but I'm fairly certain that they're just gonna ban one-hit KO moves in everything outside of single-player game.
Smoke on, here we go. But by all means, if you can think of any more combinations, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can think of some really cool combinations that you can do based on the broken Gen 1 mechanics and stats and stuff like that, trading up into Gen 7, man, let me know. I'm all for it.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's really the other main news.
Are you gonna get the virtual console games?
Or are
you
I'm gonna
happy
get
just to sit there and play emulators?
I'm gonna get yellow, I think, because
the mini surfing Pikachu games in it.
The surfing Pikachu games in it and stuff. They've added those features into it so you can just access them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get yellow.
Have they put all the events in as well? Do you know, the Mew event type stuff, or
I don't know, because it wasn't straight up an event. It was just a gift. Yeah, it wasn't like an event. It was just a gift, effectively.
Well,
so.
I for one hope that they've shoehorned you into it properly, rather than you having to hack it out of the game.
Yeah, I know they've left the glitches in, missing no and stuff like that. So, hey.
Well, that's a sign of it, isn't it? All these glitches have become such fan favourites that they've just left.
They've just left them in.
They could have brushed it up.
They could have fixed it up probably relatively.
They could have done it in their lunch break, but no, they've just left it.
They've left it in there just because they knew there'd be riots if they take it out. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get yellow. I may get blue and red as well if I have spare money at some point. And yeah, I'll buy them. Why not? Just because it's official games that will stay relevant and on a console that I can still play. Because at the end of the day, I don't even I still have my Game Boy Advance SP and I could play them on that, but I don't even know what the charger for that is, so I can't charge it up to play them. So
you can borrow mine.
Hey, I could, but yeah,
and let's face it, these days, who actually cracks out their very, very, very old Game Boys?
Yeah.
And fires up the original cartridges, all of which the memory files have had it about 5 years ago.
That's the other thing. Fingers crossed that they also re-release Gold, Silver, Crystal on Virtual Console.
Definitely.
Because they're the ones that have the biggest problem with batteries running out and then losing all your data. So by having an actual Virtual Console release, it means you have an official way of playing the games without losing all your data.
That was that. I remember losing my gold file. I had an insane Dragonite on there and a Tyranitar, and I was so happy with that file.
Yep.
And I lost it, and I was heartbroken. And on my Crystal version, I went to an awful lot of effort to get Umbreon and Espeon in my team. I had Umbreon, Espeon, the 3 starters, and a Pidgeot, and I completed the entire game. and I've not switched that game on for so many years because I daren't see if it's disappeared or not.
Oh my god.
I just want to be happy in the knowledge that I had them, and I don't want to know if they've disappeared or not.
I remember that my crystal save, that the battery in my crystal version went while I was doing a playthrough. Like, obviously I'd saved one at the end of like one play session, switched it off, came back to it like, you know, a few days later or something to do another play session, saved gone, and the battery had gone literally at that point. Most people, it just goes without them realising because they've left it alone for so long.
Yeah.
For me it was like, no, I was completely aware that it had gone because I was in the middle of the game. But no, yeah, that's it hurts hard when you save those, so...
Even like if you've lost a save, we can hold groups and discuss our feelings and get over it.
Yeah, leave us...
Being true Pokemon fans, we soldiered on anyway.
Absolutely.
And got an emulator.
Got an emulator to play the rest of it. No, yeah, leave us a comment, leave us a like and everything. Obviously, if you have any input to say, we'd love to read them, and obviously, you know, we can have chats and stuff in the comments and things. If you did like the video and you've enjoyed this kind of content that I do, which is obviously different from the usual streams that I do, obviously give us a like, let us know, tell us whether you liked it, tell us whether you want to see any improvements, any differences in the layout, the format, anything like that. Always appreciate feedback. Beyond that...
Oh, no, you've missed one thing. Happy 20th birthday, Pokemon! We love you!
Happy 20th birthday, Pokemon. Fans forever, dude.
Definitely, absolutely. Somebody said to me right yesterday, I'm too old for Pokemon. I was like, you're 24, for God's sake. I'm 23 and I still love it.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't get too old.
No.
But he was being a Gen 1er, so I just slapped him and left him to it.
Yeah, that's it. Don't tolerate them Gen 1ers, dude.
But anyway, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pokemon. May you forever continue to provide us with joy.
We'll be doing this on your 25th, your 30th, your 35th, and so on and so forth.
We'll stick with you forever, dude. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.